Hello. Welcome to Human Animal Audit Corner. Step into my kitchen. Today we'll be making manicotti. So let's get started right now. First, you have a large pot. We're going to fill it with water. All right, after you fill your pot of water, put in a little bit of salt so the manicotti won't stick. All righty. Now, close the lid and then turn on the stove to 8. All right, so there we go. And now we are going to now we are going to take block of tofu, 2 blocks of tofu, which is 16 ounces a piece. So that is 32 ounces. Now we're going to chop it up in the food processor. All right, now we're going to start sticking these in. All right, now this is one of the things you need to survive to get around the world is getting your fuel, and it's eating through the day. So I'm giving you this recipe. And of course, and also the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation has funds for you to funds for you so you can have a roof over your head, a job, and they're going to actually give you your own vehicle. So, okay. But however, earlier I mentioned, well, I was at the crafts table. You want to go back to school. And if you're in the state of Ohio, you can attend classes for free. That's if you're about 60 years of age. So guess what? If you're just coming out and you're in your 60s, you can start attending classes. So, all right. Okay, let's see, where is here we go. Your manicotti pasta. So we're gonna put it right here. All right. Okay, so put the rest in. All right, now we're gonna put the top on, and we are going to start working the food processor. So here we go. Oh yeah, plug it in. All right, now once we get this plugged in, you know what we're gonna do. All righty, had to turn on the lights. All right, so now we're gonna start. And here we go. Now, okay. Now, once you get your roof over your head, the clothes on your back, and you've got that brand new job, and attend those classes, you're gonna have cash to spend on food. And this is where I come in. I'm giving you these recipes for you to use when you get your food and start cooking. All right. We're gonna stop in between in between the grinding. And what this does is give it a smooth texture. And it's going to be like a regular manicotti. It's going to be the regular, it's going to look like a regular regatta cheese. Okay? All right. All right, now we're going to get it out of the food processor, and we're going to put the next block of tofu in. So I'm going to stick this in here for now. And now I'm going to get a spoon to actually spoon it out, put it in here. And there's your texture. It's going to look like a regular regatta cheese. It's a smooth like texture if you use it to grind up. Let me see. What else was I going to use? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me, nature called. Okay. So now we're going to stick this into the bowl. Okay. And I know some of you who had beans and rice was a form of punishment. And to me, beans and rice is healthy to me, and and it's supposed to be loaded full of protein, which is the reason why vegetarians were supposed to have it in the first place, because it's loaded with protein, and it never should have been used as a punishment at all. Hold on one second, because I gotta blow my nose. So. All righty, I did it. Now to sanitize my hands. Now, sorry about that, everybody. Now we're gonna stick in the tofu in here. Got a little bit in there, so get the rest. And then start on the other block of tofu. So I'm gonna move this to the side for now. And this is sometimes frustrating. I have to move everything around because this is the only space I have. So I can't use another cutting board. So now we're gonna cut this and then put it in the food processor. So it's gonna be two blocks, and it's gonna be 36 ounces of tofu. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now we're going to start putting these in. Now, as I said before and earlier, if you're in your 60s and you're in the state of Ohio, you get to attend a class. Class is free at a college in somewhere in Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio. So, and that would be a lucky break for you. So if you're in your 60s and want to, for your career to go back to school, state of Ohio does that, but I think this might be legality in it, since I think you're supposed to be a citizen living here in Ohio for a certain amount of years. So if you come here, you probably have to wait a while, but you can check on it. And of course, I keep saying I'm going to look into it, and then I hardly do, and I forget. So now, put this in. Shove it in. All right, and then we're going to take the food processor again and mix it up. All right. And then that'll do it for this. All right, now we're going to put the top back on. Move down a little. Put that in the sink. I don't need it anymore. Alrighty. Okay, now grind it up, and it would be a smooth, light texture. Now, at the same time, I'm going to be turning. Okay, maybe I better wait, because if you do this, if you use 2 blocks of tofu in replace of regular regatta cheese, it's gonna cut back on your oil intake, because regular regatta cheese has so much oil in it. It's so loaded with calories, and it's not cruelty free. It's been taken out of a cow. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, it burned out, but guess what? Next time you use it, it's going to be fine because it's cooled down and you're able to use it again. So, okay. All right. Now, I am going to bring over the other half of the recipe. Oh, geez. Alrighty. But it's okay, because guess what? It's still okay to use, since it's still crushed up with the food processor with the other ones. So it's okay to use. Alrighty. All right. Okay. All right. And I still have cheese in there. Still have the cheese. All right. As soon as this boils, I'm going to put the manicotti into the boiling hot water. All right. I'm going to stick this in the sink. And then we're going to put the rest in this. Okay. So there we are. Super clean. Okay. Now, I could have actually put a clove of garlic in there, but since it's the tofu, I did it. So that's just it. All right, now we're going to mix this around. And it's just fabulous. All right. All right. Now, all right, it's going to boil in a sec. Now we're going to take a couple of teaspoons of garlic. That's 2 or 3, but want to put a third or fourth in? Well, go ahead, be my guess. Just don't stink, okay? I just want more, because you know what? I want my garlic. Okay. Now we're going to mix this up. Okay. And this would be a substitute for regular regatta, and it's cruelty free. But you want to persist in using the regular, well, I can't stop you. I'm not going to force my vegetarianism down your throat, so don't worry. All right, now we're going to take 2.5 spoons parsley. Oh, if only you can smell this thing. Okay. Alrighty. And here's the half. Alrighty. Oh, wow. This is like a dream. Okay. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of cilantro. If you got cilantro, you can use it. So just put about 1 teaspoon. Okay. Take off the lid. Alrighty. Am I going to have this today? Not really. So now I'm going to put, since I have 2.5 teaspoons of parsley in there, we're only going to put in 1 teaspoon. I'm going to put this back. Okay. I'm going to mix this around. Am I going to make dessert today? Not really. So I'm sorry I got on late today. Okay. And tomorrow, let's see. I won't be at the crafts table tomorrow. I will, okay, time to put in the manicotti. All right. So I won't be at the crafts table tomorrow because of my niece's baby shower. Always make time for family. Oh boy, this is the incredible shrinking pasta. Okay. So we're going to stick these in. You know what? Everything is shrinking around us. This used to be a little bit bigger. Alrighty, so we're going to grab out the other one. And that will go in for about, let me think here, about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. I'm not Italian, so I don't know. So, okay, now we're going to put into this batter 1 cup of mozzarella. And then I don't have another package of mozzarella, so I'm going to just use that cheddar. All right. Go. Now, it's always great to hang around family. And to Scientology, family means nothing. Family means nothing to Scientology. All right, so maybe we'll better pull this down a little. Put it down to 6.5. Oh wait, 5.5, excuse me. There's a little in here, so I'll just stick this in. And nope, it's not going to recycle, so. All right. So we're going to toss this. But, yeah, we're going to stir this up. Now, remember, I'm not going to be at the crafts table tomorrow, and I won't be doing any of my stories, but guess what? I will do the dinner show. So I will be in this kitchen. And then the next day, I'll definitely be making dinner. But as a brunch, I don't know whether or not I'm going to actually be at the brunch table. So, all right. So I will make it for dinner tomorrow. Then tomorrow, I will be at the dinner. So I should have mentioned it at the end. But so I will be with my niece and her friends and the rest of her relatives, which are technically my relatives too, and her friends. Okay. I'm gonna keep on mixing this. But she's not too young to get married. She is about, let's see. She's about 24. So should she have waited a little while longer? Yeah, maybe 28, but no, it's her life. She can get married when she wants to. But it wasn't that early. Yesterday, in the 80s and 90s, women got married when they were 21. But now it's a different story. Women are getting married a little later. But in Scientology, they get married as teenagers. And that is tragic. And also in Dianetics, they said in the book, In the Mind of L. Ron Hubbard, now please get your kids away from the screen, or if this is actually on TV, please get your child into the other room. Okay, I counted to 5. I'll tell you. In Dianetics, it said that an older male who's at the age of 30 can kiss a 7-year-old child. Now, how demented is that? It is disgusting. So, it's the most horrible thing in the world. And also, in one of my other episodes, in the past, last year, Scientology's not tolerating homosexuality, which is not a bad thing to do. Be who you are. Don't care less what anyone else thinks. But however Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard thinks, everybody's perverted when they're gay. No. Not everybody's going to be a pervert in the world, and that would include gays and lesbians. It goes both ways, whether they're heterosexual or not. So, keep on mixing this. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, I can just use this to see. Okay, so now we're going to dump this out, but make sure it's not all the way cooked. So we're going to turn on the oven. We're going to put it on 405. There. Now, we're going to grab a colander. Or I could just dump it out if I can find. Okay. Okay. So now let's dump this out. Oh. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. I used the 30-second rule, and I don't want to waste, so okay, might be a little bit. Well, okay. So I'm going to dump out the cold water. I rinsed it. It'll be okay. So, oh, all right. All right, there we go. All right. All right, so I rinsed it all out. Used cold water to rinse everything off. Yes, the sink. It accidentally went into the sink, but I rinsed it off and washed it off thoroughly. So, all right, now we're going to grab out I'm going to grab out a casserole, and it will fit, so. So since the manicani's too small, I'm going to use it on this. So, all right, now I'm going to start stuffing them. Or, let's see here. First, we're going to put the sauce at the bottom of the pan. If you don't have enough, just take just take tomato paste, and just work it into the other tomato sauce. Then we're gonna take it and then work it around. Alrighty. Okay. So now I'm gonna get a spoon. And I'm going to start stuffing these. And then after I'm done stuffing these, I'm going to stick them right into the oven. Yeah. Alrighty. There we go. We're going to keep on stuffing these. And then after I'm done stuffing this, I'm going to put it right into the casserole dish. The reason why I'm doing this, because guess what? These are so small. Nowadays, everything around us is shrinking, including the cake mixes. Unbelievable. So, all right. Now we're gonna. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. All right. Now we're gonna put it on the other side. Alrighty. I'm gonna put a little more in there. Okay. Now, okay. Really stuff it in there. Now, to make sure it's really in there, I'm going to get a knife, butter knife. You can see it all the way in. Now, is there going to be enough? You know. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, then we're going to take this and put it in. And I'm sorry about the dead silence. So, I'm concentrating, seeing how I can get this in there. All right, so there we go. So, all of it's in there. I'm going to put a little bit more in. And oh boy. Nowadays, we have to be extra careful not to actually mess up and spill something on the floor in the sink because, yeah, everything is so expensive nowadays. So we're going to have to be extra careful and not to accidentally spill it on the floor. But if it's liquid, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, we're going to stuff it in. Okay. Now, if you want to make cannolis, you can use this because it's also with regatta cheese, so you can use this. And it looks like you could use this for cheesecake too. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's not really good what I did, but you know what? Nowadays you can't waste it. It's not such a good thing. Plus, almost all of it that was in the pot actually went in. So, alrighty. I'm going to stick this in. And we're going to go on to the next one. make sure they all get in there, all the way in. So we're going to use the knife. We're going to make sure it goes all the way in there. Alrighty. Okay. Now, let's see. Nowadays, even though every woman now is getting married somewhere around the age of 28, but no younger than 24. Teenagers in Scientology are, in fact, getting married. And, you know, Claire and Mark got married as teenagers. Claire was only 17, Mark was 19, as you know. They brought it up. It was a personal thing, but yeah, they brought it up. And child brides are common in Scientology. And it's tragic that they get married that young. Now, they have a rule of no sex before marriage. So when you're a teenager and you kiss a boy, that's it, you marry them. And of course, you know, Tom Cruise caught his niece, a teenager, on one of the monitors, security monitors. He got mad and then banished her away from her mother. And it really sounded like that she was being a teenager, and that's what teenagers do. They go behind other people's back. Teenagers, let's face it, are capable of breaking the rules. So she was acting like a teenager, and Tom got angry. Not a way to go. So, okay. Shove it in there. Okay. Alrighty. Now, earlier my mods jumped right in. So, yeah, I don't know if my mods did not jump in today, but okay, so I'm gonna put these directly in. All right. And in the state of California, you can get married at the age of 16. But now they're trying to get that changed due to the fact that Scientology is marrying off their teenagers and yeah, and their child brides. Yeah, it's horrible. Okay. So, okay. All right. Now, okay. And we all know children cannot consent to any of Scientology's practices. Okay, there we go. Now, the next one is going to be this one right here. Now, once we get it in, I'm going to put it right in that casserole dish. Yeah, and I apologize. It was gross when it went into the sink, but however, food is expensive nowadays, and we can't just instantly throw it out and then it going into the environment and making holes in the ozone layer. So we're gonna have to find a way to use it, even though we can just rinse it out, use it, or use vinegar, soak it in the water, and then it'll be okay. But nowadays, if you throw away food, that's it. It's going to put holes in the ozone layer. Okay. There we are. All right. And let's see here. And you know what? Children should just be children, no matter their age. Whether you're an infant, which they totally neglect, and just leave them there in their heavy diapers, in their own mess, or when they're 3 years old and seen upon as a adult in a small person's body, which is horrible. That L. Ron Hubbard even came up with something like that. It's disgusting. Okay, keep on stuffing this. Alrighty. Now we're gonna put a little bit more here. Now, what am I going to have for dinner? Well, not this. So, this there. Okay. All right. And oh, geez, I'm sorry, I'm getting to be so boring. So, yeah, I'm going to find something to say because, yeah, it's dead air. Now, let's see. Now, they're trying to come up with laws to avoid child brides. In the state of California, you can't get married when you're 16. Unbelievable. I mean, there are still laws letting teenagers get married at an early age. I guess they never officially changed it after the 60s, continued it into the 70s and then 80s. So in some states, I guess it's so legal to let these kids get married at an early age. Unbelievable. So, oh my gosh. And Stacy Moxon was a young teenager when she got married. And her father, and of course, she died in Scientology's hands, in her father's, in the hands of Scientology. But her father continues to be in Scientology. He's the most evil bastard there is in the world. By still being in there. And they said that she want the cause of death. She said, everyone says that, including Office of Special Affairs, said she died while trying to save a squirrel in a. Here we go. We're gonna stick this in. And yeah, she was a young teenager. Her father is just so disgusting. They just made the whole thing up. She wasn't even suicidal. I mean, she was upset that she couldn't see her husband. They sent her husband away from her. Okay. And then she just mysteriously died. And her father continues to be a Scientologist, and he's a lawyer. So it looks like he's also Scientology's lawyer, which is pretty disgusting, defending a money laundering, human trafficking cult. And what is Pam Bondi doing? Nothing. She was actually wined and dined by Nancy Cartwright. It was horrible. I mean, she is not practicing what she preaches when she says, if you're here illegally, living in the United States illegally, you will be sent back and prosecuted and be sent back. However, she looks the other way when Scientology traffics in these immigrants, and they think they're actually donating their time on a religious visa, when Scientology is not a religion at all. It's a Ponzi scheme. It is just plain horrible. All right. I mean, and does Trump know about it? I wouldn't put one over on him. But is something going to be done to get them to stop trafficking illegal immigrants into this country? No. So nothing's going to get done by Trump at all. He's not going to do anything. And if Scientology paid him off, yeah, we're definitely not going to see it happen. Now we're going to shove the other end in. Yeah. Shove it all in there. Put more in. And there it is, your Italian manicotti. Is it Italian? Since I'm making it, probably not. So, okay, we're going to shove this in there. Okay. Put it in here. And we're going to grab our next pasta and do the same thing. We're going to put the pasta in there. Well, we're going to put the tofu in or cheese in, whatever. All right. Stuffed manicotti, like so. We did it in the other ones. All right. Was it gross that I accidentally spilled it into the sink accidentally and use it again? Well, technically, yeah, but you can actually rinse it off, put vinegar, pour vinegar in there, rinse it off, and then it'll be okay. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, in the future, if that happens to you, just use vinegar. I mean, it's used for fruits and vegetables now to get it clean. So I can't see why not that you can use it with food that's cooked like this, the manicotti shell. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And then children having children. And Natalie had her kids a little bit early. How old was she? I don't know. Was she a teenager? You know what? I think so. I'm just not sure. You can ask her again if you like. All right. But I don't want to be the one starting rumors because that's not what I would want to do. Now, is she spiritual? Maybe. Okay. All right. There we go. I'm going to stick this in there. Now we're going to pour the sauce in on top and then add the cheddar on top. Jeez. All right. Now I'm going to open this. All right. First I'm going to pour the sauce in. So there are good foods that you can eat when you are a vegan, and this is one of them. Alrighty. And now I'm going to take the cheese and sprinkle it in. And now we're going to actually finish stuffing our shells. Shells, whatever. And then that'll be it. And then we're going to stick it in the oven. All right. All right. Now, nowadays, it's horrible the way people are being trafficked. In the early modern days, when there was slave labor, there was trafficking of some sort of way when they brought the Africans in other parts of the country, Jamaica, Barbados. Yeah, even then it was called trafficking, but they just never had a name for it either. They're bringing all these African Jamaicans and Barbados, whatever, and just use them for slave labor. And today, in modern day society, Scientology is the modern day slave owners. And that would include Tom Cruise. Is it horrible? Yes, it is. It's the most worst thing anyone can do. And it's horrible. Even when it's Tom Cruise, no exception. And you are not allowed to have slave labor, it's illegal. Okay. Even then, when it got written into law, the word trafficking did not come in until later. So stick this in. To the next one. Work it in. So we're going to use the butter knife and stick it in. Now, down below, you find the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. Also, there are other government agencies. Now, if you think I should get rid of them because I'm looking to lessen the pot and only have NAMI and the National Center for Mental Illness on the list and the regular primary care doctor on the list, and get rid of the other ones. So if you want me to get rid of some of them, go to the comments down below and I'm going to brush up on them, and then if you want me to keep them, I will. If you think they're not helping any and helping everyone in Scientology, let me know also at the comments below. So, okay. All right. So, here we go. I'm going to work in the rest of them. All right. Yeah, let me see what else I'm going to say. I don't want dead air either, so. All right. And we're close to, actually, I think, no. Who am I kidding? No, we're not close to being done. I have about, let's see, 6 more to stuff, and then that'll be it. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. Stick that in. Now, I actually didn't get a chance to actually call my project, my leave time for my project, one of my projects, Scientology projects. So I actually decided, oh my gosh, to wait till Monday. And next week, I'm going to see if I can get an appointment. Okay. All right. Now, we also know trafficking is big in Scientology. And they are getting away with it, and that is because they have been safe pointing. They do it from safe pointing. And they even trafficked it into Tom Cruise's house, which is horrible. So he's trafficking those slave laborers in his household. And according to Natalie Webster, he doesn't want to pay them. So he has the modern day, he's a modern day slave owner. Okay. Put that in. The next one. Stick this one in. Now, and David Miscavige is doing that. He's actually has his steaks, dinners, fries, and he actually is using the slave labor to cook it for him. A chef that's a slave, literal a slave. So it's really bad. So you think I would think it would have came to an end, but no, he's been doing that all along, and so was Hubbard. I mean, the way it sounded, yeah. I mean, he did use personal slaves, and they had poor working conditions. Okay, we're gonna stick this in. So this is tofu is being used in replace of regular regatta cheese. All right, we're almost there. So we're gonna stick this one in. Okay. Okay. So here we go. We got this in there. Okay. Now we're going to turn this over and put it in it to the other end. Now, did I have mods come in? Some of them popped in for a couple of seconds. So let's make a deal. If you're only on for a couple of seconds, press subscribe so I would know that you're at least popping in. So far I had 11 hours worth of watch time and 1,700K, which is, thank you. Thank you for popping in. Okay. So now we're going to put this in on the side. Alrighty. Okay. Now we got 2 more after this. Okay. Shove in. That's right. Alrighty. So this is my creativity at work. Oh boy, I am starving. So am I actually going to eat right now? No. Alrighty. So there we go. And what else is going down? Now, I mentioned earlier, I had a thought. I'm like, when I talked to my minister, since people in other Christian religion has been using Scientology's banquet rooms for their functions. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. So some of them says, oh, God works in mysterious ways and have no clue. Some of them have no clue that they're slave labor. I mean, at the same time, I'm thinking, well, there's a rational explanation for this. Sometimes there isn't any, but yeah, you are actually using the Scientology is using that slave labor to serve you all. So that ain't a good thing. So please, please look into your heart. If you're the man of God or whatever, please stop using the slave labor. I mean, there is such thing as 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 an evil Christian. There is such thing. It won't matter whether they're a minister, a nun, whatever. I mean, plus, sometimes they get away with such things like this, and it's horrible. Now, I don't care if you are a man of God or a nun or whatever. If you do something wrong and you illegally break the law, I think you should pay the price. But I don't think anyone in my church is doing that. So, because the minister I have is a sweet, kind gentleman. He wouldn't actually deliberately hurt other people. So. Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna put this at the other side. Alrighty, there we go. Shoving it in there. Okay. And we're almost there. Alright. Stick this one in. Alright. And there we go. There. That should do it for this. So now I'm going to pour the sauce over it. All right. All right. When my mother was around, and when I was a little girl, and she has a little bit of sauce left in the jar, she would go get water in there, and actually she would add a little in, swish it around, and just dump it in. My mother was always creative. All right. Ugh. So now we're gonna spread this. Okay. And then that'll be it. We're gonna actually put a little on top. And then it's gonna be a cup to a cup and a half. And then stick it in the oven. And there is your manicotti. I'm sorry there was no other cheese, and it was supposed to be mozzarella. I apologize, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. And it is now 7. So, yes, we're going to put this in the oven, and then I'm going to have it another day. Alrighty, so now we're going to stick this in the oven. And then we're going to call it a day. Now, there we go. And that is your homemade manicotti with tofu in replace of regatta cheese, which is cruelty free. And once you make it, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Once you douse it with vegan cheese, you're not going to tell the difference at all. So, okay, I won't be at my crafts table tomorrow, but I might be around at the dinner hour cooking. So, you want to contribute to the channel? To keep my channel going, go to the PayPal link below, or want to buy me a coffee? I'm still working on it. Buy me a coffee, or you can use my PayPal account. Right now, I think you have to use my PayPal account. So, like, press subscribe. If you only want to be here a few seconds, hit the subscribe key to actually know that you were around. So hit the like, press subscribe, and I might see you tomorrow. So see you later.